My name is Bennett Newsome. I'm the esports strategist here at Full Sail. I also stream on Twitch under Damn It Bennett. But we have a great panel for you guys today. We're really excited. It is very unique. Everyone brings a different perspective to the stage, so I'm really excited to introduce you guys. Coming up first, we have Matt Heafy from Trivium. He is also blazing the trails of the music category on Twitch. And up next we have Hungrybox, legendary Super Smash Bros. Melee player, coming up to the stage. Full Sail grad and former instructor DeeJay Knight. And finally, Full Sail grad, TheMavShow, coming on up. Thank you guys all for being here today. I'm really excited. Like I said earlier, this panel really brings a unique story to each person and their journey as they've gone through streaming on Twitch. So I'm really excited to kick things off. But before we do that, if you have your phone and you are on Twitch and you have the Twitch app, I want you to go ahead, open that up. I want you to go to Full Sail Armada, and I want you to hit the share button and host the channel. Because you can't have a panel about Twitch without hosting it.
If I already hosted it. Do I get bonus points?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So hit that host button, and then we're good. Sweet.
Don't forget to retweet it.
You could also...
I think you have to really get into it.
You have to really get into it?
You have to really get into the mic.
You could also do /host a Full Sail Armada, and it should work.
Great, so why don't we start and kind of just introduce yourself, talk about what you do on Twitch, and kind of just, a quick bit on everything that you're doing.
My name is Matt Heafy. I'm in the band Trivium. I joined the band when I was about 13 years old. I've been in the band ever since. We're from Orlando. Guitar player's a graduate here from 2002, 2001, I believe. Corey, he went to recording arts. I started streaming music about a year ago on Twitch. 2 years ago, I started streaming, but I didn't really know too much what you're supposed to do. I'd have like a crummy PS4 cam. I'd stream about 20 minutes of Overwatch, and that was kind of it. I thought that's all you were supposed to do. Didn't really engage with anybody, but then I started meeting some people from Twitch who thankfully were into the band a little bit, and they talked to me, and I said, I'd love to stream more on this, but here's what I do every day. And basically what I do every day off tour, 5 days a week, it's about 4 to 5 hours of singing and guitar playing to stay in shape for touring, because my band tours about 4 to 10 months a year all around the world. So they said, turn on the camera, stream that. And ever since then, I think I've really found what my niche is in Twitch, and that rhymed. So yeah, that's what I do. It's 5 days a week at home, and then on tour, it's 7 days a week. We stream every single show, every sound check, every warm up, and I stream every warm up from home.
And that's so cool, especially for Trivium fans, to be able to watch the show from the side of the stage, every show on tour. Yeah, it's pretty unique.
It's really fun. And every day what we do is I have the subscribers, they pick exactly what the set is every day. My band has 8 records, so every day it's difficult to remember 8 records worth of stuff. But kids will be like, I want this song off this record, and I'll sometimes have to relearn it. And basically the set list of the morning or the afternoon is that. And we leave next week for a festival run, so it'll be cool to be able to stream 50 to 100,000 person festival shows to the IRL backpack, the Gun Run backpack, which is pretty sweet.
Awesome. One.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hungrybox. I play Super Smash Bros. Professionally. Melee is the one of my choice, the one that was released in 2001. It might sound weird that an 18-year-old game is still an esport, but for some reason right now it's bigger than it ever has been, and I'm still confused, but we take those. So I've been playing since I was about 12 or 13 years old, and the same age my brother started listening to his music, actually. So it's just a really interesting to see now that Twitch has become a platform not only for gamers, but of course any kind of media or entertainment, a really, really good way for people of media to interact with their fans and show ways of supporting that haven't existed before. So for me, obviously, whenever I'm at home away from tournaments usually on the weekends, and when I'm at home during the week, I stream on Twitch, usually Ultimate or Melee. I play against fans, I take requests for matches, just have fun with the game, talk to your audience, and make sure everyone's having a good time. It's a really, really good way for your fans to also get to know the more personable side of you. Maybe sometimes your fans only see you on screen or as a competitor, as an athlete. They see you as a character, like in my case, Jigglypuff, but didn't really know like the person behind it. And so that's a cool thing about Twitch. You see the person there instead too. It gives you a face to a name. You can crack jokes, and it really is the most, I think, human way of interacting in this crazy social age that we have nowadays in 2019. And so I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm happy that Smash can still be part of such a vibrant ecosystem.
DeeJay.
And before I go anywhere, I wanted to make sure that you get checked on your humility here. Apparently, you are the best Smash player in the world, yes?
Number one.
Number one.
Okay, so
Number one.
I like that.
Told them I was
DeeJay.
going to embarrass them
There-
backstage. So.
That was good.
there's a place for humility, but when you are that much of a beast, like, we have to acknowledge that, right? I got my start in gaming, actually, not long after I graduated from Full Sail the first time. Created a website and started to do reviews and editorials on gaming, and that was back in like '05. And I did that for like a decade. And then I started getting tired of having to write all the time. So I was like, all right, what's an easy way to handle this and also teach people at the same time? So I was teaching in the game design degree program as a course director, as a labby at the time, and I wanted to have people, an easy way for people to reference a thing. So, oh, you want to walk on the wall, cool, go play this game in this level, and that's kind of what you want to do. So that, for me, it's more of a reference. And I didn't want to mention that I was streaming on Twitch to anybody because I didn't want anybody to sub to me because conflict of interest. But no, well, now I don't
Found
work
you.
here anymore, so it doesn't count. But no, it was an amazing time, and I'm just a big fan of space and science fiction. So I play a lot of Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, and pretty much anything with sci-fi in it. And it's just very similar to me, right? Like, I'm a big fan of community and having a place where you can crack jokes and people understand your type of humor. So for me, it's just, I don't know how I could do anything else at this point. I love it.
And Mav?
Hi, I'm Mav. I go by TheMavShow everywhere. I started off gaming as a very small little lady. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was on a Sega. It was cool. Then I found Full Sail. I actually am a single mom of 2 while I was going to school online for computer animation. Thank you. Thank you. While I was going to school, I was really heavy into World of Warcraft raiding. So you guys know, if you play World of Warcraft, that's your life. And so I really had to struggle with going back and forth with that. And that kind of brought me into Twitch, because I was like, wow, I can watch people raid while I raid and do my homework, right? Homework. So then I actually did charity work on Twitch before I started my channel. So I graduated, thank God, and I started right away, and I just fell in love with it. Now I play a lot of Destiny, a lot of Just Dance, a lot of Apex Legends. Anyone play Apex Legends? Woo. Yeah, okay, 3 people, cool. And yeah, I really fell in love with it. I grew a community, I grew my best friends. Huge charity events like Guardian Con were created, and I really am so thankful I got to be a part of that. I just recently went to St. Jude because of video games and because of raising money. So if you're really looking for a reason to really get into streaming, there's a lot. So.
Absolutely, especially the charitable aspect.
Yeah.
St. Jude is an incredible organization, and most people that are on Twitch are usually trying to help generate revenue for some sort of charitable cause, which took the charity world by storm. They were like, wait, these gamers want to help us out? Okay. And it has been one of their biggest revenue drivers has been, streaming marathons for different organizations and things like that. So Twitch has really started to become a household name for a lot of these organizations that, never knew what that was or what gaming would be, which is really exciting. And obviously Twitch, started, it came as like a spin-off of Justin TV in around 2011 or so, and has really been continuing to grow, bought by Amazon, and has been continuing to push the boundaries. And I think we can really say that a lot of the success and the explosion of esports has Twitch to thank for a lot of that. It really is bringing that to the masses on a whole new platform where most kids aren't even watching a whole lot of TV anymore. They're online watching streamers, watching you guys. So it's definitely an exciting time. As far as getting your start, I think that's really a big question that most people have is like, how do I get started? And what were the steps that you took? I mean, you talked about playing with your PlayStation camera. What were the things that you guys were doing? And feel free to jump in at any point, to really get that foundation started and take that first step of hitting start stream.
Do the thing.
Do it.
That's literally it. Like, the longer you mull over whether or not you should, that's time that you're taking by not doing. So if you think you can do it and you only have an Xbox One, Mixer's installed in the Xbox One.
There are some pro esport players, like Real Crafty to be an example. If you guys don't know, he plays a lot of Fortnite, and he's one of my friends, and he used to stream on the console during like trials runs in Destiny 1, and just he's the first person that comes to mind just because he's gone so many different places, and he's a pro now, and he's just a good example of like you can do anything.
It's always
5.
Yeah, it's always great watching someone stream off of the PlayStation and then getting partnered on Twitch, because that takes a whole lot, and you just do it and you just go.
PlayStation actually has a bunch of built-in tools that a lot of people don't recognize, though, right? Like, they have the green screen capability, so you can chroma out your background.
So many new.
They have a lot of things that are just inside of the console, so you don't need a beastly computer. You don't need a 2-stream setup or a 2-PC setup. Just go live. And
it must be nice.
Yeah. What?
Having a console that lets you stream from the console. That must be cool. Yeah, that's neat.
You picked
I played the
wrong
5th.
one, or did you?
No, I picked the right one. Yeah. And let me listen. We have been streaming Smash Bros with literally, it feels like sticks and stones since like the Stone Age. But now there's capture cards. Now there's ways of streaming. Obviously with your Switch, it's all HDMI. But back in like the dark ages, I had to stream from a GameCube, and you had to get this little thing called a Dazzle dongle. I don't know what it was.
Wow, I forgot about those things.
You guys are all spoiled now, because we used to have to get AV cables
what?
comment out of a GameCube adapter, converting it into an HDMI signal, putting it into a computer, putting it on a Zubu, I think it was for me.
Yeah.
Those are
That's before me.
cold days. Anyways,
It's been 84 years.
Yeah.
The dark ages.
But you made it happen, and that's the important thing. There's way crazier stuff now, like the Melee community. Because the game came out in 2001, we figured out a way to make the game online. And the game was never meant to be online, but thanks to all the community putting their heads together and the really smart guys who know how to make the game happen, you can now play against your friends online with your PC from corner to corner of the country. And that's for a game that's 18 years old. So had that never happened, we wouldn't have a community here, wouldn't have practice or pros being able, sometimes people live in like remote cities and they can't go to tournaments all the time. But now it's helped that way to pave it into an esport. So even when it seems like futile or dire, like this game can't exist, it can. You just got to put in the right amount of work or find the right people who know how to make it happen. So I'm very thankful for that happening. But yeah, it must be nice.
I played the 5th.
I think what's even when I first started streaming the shows, because like a lot of us here also do other things like music or sports or yoga or jiu-jitsu, whatever it may be. I think it's really cool to stream what you love. That's something I've been telling a lot of people, because a lot of band guys have started streaming now.
Yep.
And a lot of them, while I encourage it, they want to pursue, they want to be the next Ninja as a band guy. But instead what I say is, your band is amazing, you have this built-in fan base, or let's say you're a great guitar player or a drummer, you could stream that off your phone. So the first couple months when I decided to start streaming music, it was just off my phone, off the Joby like XL thing.
Yeah.
It needs an
Offside
update.
stage. Yeah, so I was doing that, and I just had like Streamlabs on that, and not even really understanding I'm supposed to thank people for subscribing and stuff like that at first. Because I got into Twitch from, I was a big fan of, still am, big fan of Shroud, big fan of Dakotas. So I started watching those guys a lot. And my bass player, Paulo, said to me, he's like, you should start streaming on Twitch, because I've always been into games. I mean, I beat Mario 1 before I could speak English. My mom's Japanese. She immigrated to the US. My dad was in the Marines. And I was playing Mario and watching anime, and that was what I was doing before I was still speaking Japanese with my mom. And so video games are always a big part of my life, like all the Final Fantasy 4, 6, and 7, I say, are the best in the world. So I went from there to GoldenEye to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1.
Oh, GoldenEye.
Nowadays, it's 90% of the time it's music that I'm streaming, and that other 10% of the time is Fortnite. I say Fortnite's still the greatest game in the world. Bring back Siphon, please. And yeah.
This man has been talking about Siphon for the last 3 weeks, I swear to God.
I'm very upset that it's gone.
Oh, I started streaming because I had just graduated, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get a job doing it traditionally. Putting in your resume and your reel and all of that stuff. I really wanted to sort of practice more, and the best way to do that was to actually put it on my own channel and showcase my own work and meet some people who like to do the same thing as me. And then I ended up playing games. I ended up playing Elder Scrolls Online. I got partnered with them. That whole community just rallied. Like, they helped me so much. Getting into Destiny also that same year, those were really big for me. Like, I got partnered really fast, within like 3 to 6 months of even starting stream, which is not normal at all, because I just got lucky. It goes back to like being lucky and really putting yourself out there to accept the luck that comes your way, because that's like, if I decided to be like, oh, you know what, it's such a new thing, no one's doing it, I'm just gonna wait till someone does it. That's when you really kind of hold yourself back. So putting yourself out there, letting people meet you and being vulnerable is my number one.
Absolutely. It's a terrifying thing to just go and say, hey, I'm gonna go over there and introduce myself to this person.
I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, like, are you a girl?
Yeah, I feel like if you were smart enough to stream, not only stream, but stream and become even kind of big on like Justin.tv, that's like the equivalent of like buying Bitcoin when it was like $5. Like if you did that and you like were able to adopt that early technology really early on and you were big, you're probably paying off massive dividends now because you've just been part of that streaming culture for so long. So it's very, very important. Like Mav said, like take the chance, never be afraid to put yourself out there. And for me, I was only a gamer. I would only compete, but because of my results, I got picked up by Team Liquid. And so Team Liquid, when I was on their team, they had sort of an agreement with Twitch where their players would become partnered. But because of that, they wanted to see results off it. They wanted to say, make sure you stream, make sure you put in the time. And it's one thing to, be given this magical check mark saying, hey, because you're notable.
You're verified.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, because you're verified, because you're good at pressing buttons, here's a check mark. But to me, it's just like, it's one thing having it, it's another part of keeping it. Like you have to, if you're given the opportunity, use it. Stream as much as you can. Be as entertaining as you can. Open your palate a little bit. Sometimes I would go to, eat at a restaurant like Chipotle or Jersey Mike's, and I would just have my own stream cam right there answering questions while I was eating for like 500 viewers. And sometimes it's just something that simple where you can engage on your audience at a more personal level. So if you have the opportunity and the shot, awesome, you're already doing really, really well, but keep on pushing it. Don't just get lazy because you've reached one goal. Make it all stepping stones until the day you die, the way I see it.
Yeah.
To add to that,
do what you love too. Like do what you love, show people what you love and what you enjoy doing, and that's gonna be very genuine. Like people can instantly tell whether it's a game you love or it's a thing in life that you love to do. And I think when that's conveyed, that's when you're able to start building people who enjoy that and people have the similar interest, whatever that may be, whether it's IRL stuff, music stuff, specific games, all sorts of games. And it's important, first and foremost, I believe, just like as you were saying, building it and then building that community. That is my favorite thing about what Twitch is, because it gives people a place where they can hang out with like-minded people. That's why I liked metal. That's why I liked games, because there are things for the underdog, things for the nerd. Like I was a nerdy metal kid who played games in all of elementary school, middle school, and high school, and I didn't feel like I fit in. So that's why I discovered things like games and metal. And later on, you find out there's more and more people that love those things. And now there's freaking amazing schools like this that do those two things and then so much more. Like when we came here after the redevelopment, I guess you can call it a Full Sail, after our guitar player graduated in 2002, it's so different. Now it's not just music, it's also music and film and games and creation and all these things, film production. Find those things, and if those are things you love, like I was talking to one of my friends who's a big YouTuber who wants to start doing some Twitch stuff, I said, showcase how you make your videos on your Twitch channel, because he was like, what game do I play? I was like, show what you do and what you love, show the whole process of building your normal videos on YouTube, and then put that thing on YouTube at the end, but focus on the whole stream being that creation process.
Raise your hand if you're a Full Sail student here. I just want every person here raise their hand to know that you guys have one of the greatest and best opportunities any person in this entire earth has in terms of media. You all are very, very fortunate to be in a school this incredible to do it. And as long as you have the opportunity, like I was saying, and push it forward, you're all going to do some insane stuff with your lives. So I'm low-key jealous you guys are getting into this school, but it's a very, very good thing. And I'm really appreciative of you guys coming out here to hear even a small part of it, which is esports. It's a really great thing.
When I toured Juan through the Fortress in the early stages, he literally looked at me and said, how do I sign up? Like, what do I need to do? Because I want to come here. This is
Look at
awesome.
that chandelier. Are you kidding me?
that is fancy. That is very fancy.
I wish that I knew about streaming when I was going to school, because there is such a small percentage of people who come to this school, and this school is just gorgeous. It's state of the art. There's so many cool things happening. People want to see, like even on my Twitter today, they're like, what is this Full Sail you're talking about? I'm like, hold on a second. You don't know what Full Sail is. So sharing more of the journey of getting to where you're trying to go really gives people a chance to get to know you. And again, being vulnerable, you want to create that personal brand, which you're creating now, right? You're creating your reels, you're creating your demos, you're creating your final project things, and you're getting the idea of what you're trying to do. Like, just make sure you add your element to that, because you as a person is what's going to make you special when it comes to finding a job or working on a cool project that you feel really passionate about. That is something that I really wish that I was told or knew about and could share, because there's so many stories of just crying during an exam that I wish I would have shared, because it's real. Like, it's real. It's really tough at this school. So that's something that I would advise.
I would say be consistent. To add two pieces of this, be consistent and don't expect it to happen immediately, right? Like, when I say be consistent, I mean, like, have a schedule. Who knows when their favorite show comes on TV if you're not watching all your shows on Netflix?
Rip.
Right. So yeah, rip regular TV.
Yeah. Eventually, that one's not going to work anymore.
But like, and that's why I said if you're not watching your shows on Netflix.
What the hell
is
TV?
I have no idea. I heard there's this box
Channel
that has
3?
things that come on. But before Netflix took over how people watch TV, if you know that your show comes on at 7 o'clock, you're not there at 7:03 and there's no show. So be consistent, but also it takes time. Regardless of the game you play, regardless of how good you are, you can be the biggest pro ever. Like, how long did it take Ninja to explode on Twitch? He's been on Twitch since Twitch was Twitch. But when I say be consistent, to give an example, I was streaming while I was teaching here. So I would wake up in the morning, feed walk my dog, come to work, go home, feed walk my dog, stream till like 4 a.m. So I know life to Twitch. And then I went to the first TwitchCon because of streaming on Twitch. World of Warships had a contest that if you lived up to a thing that they called Eagle. So you had to be entertaining, articulate, genuine, a leader, and educational. And I felt like that's what I do for my day job, so I might as well try this with some World of Warships. They sent me to the first TwitchCon because of that. I met Co Carnage, Towley, Elohim, some of the most amazing people that I know. Like, I'm friends with them now, but after meeting Co, I was like, okay, he's been going daily for a long time. So I tried that. I said, let's do 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, I was like, yeah, this is a habit. I can keep this up. Let's go 60. And I was like, no, let's go 90. And at 90, it was like, I might as well just go for a year. And I didn't stop until I hit 1,000 days. That, I'm still not. I feel like I don't feel like I ever want to be complacent with where I am. So I feel like I still have a lot of work to do. But that's the dedication that I wanted to make sure that I put into the craft, because I wanted people to know that I was serious about it. So take your time, do the thing, and while you're doing it, you're going to get better. If you're watching Twitch, you're seeing other good production value. You're here, which means you already know the people you need to know to work across degree programs and say, hey man, I need a logo. Let me go talk to some DAD students, right? Like I need to get some video.
Lucky.
There's got to be somebody here that can do that. So like connecting with other people that are into it, not only are you helping yourself by adding to your production value, you're also giving them something to do because it's something that they love to do, that they can stream doing it.
Yep.
So that's like helping yourselves.
And I think that goes into like a good point is everything that you are learning here. You always hear the teacher say, hey, networking is key. Interacting with other people. And that translates to streaming as well. I think that a lot of you guys, and I know myself, for example, got my first break by driving up to Tampa to go to a meetup at an ale house with.
Remember that?
Yes, it was crazy. Like
back alley.
It was like 1,000 people showed up to this meetup with Professor Broman and King Athalion, and it was just like I'm just going to go do it. And I introduced them. I was terrified, but I did. And like the next week they rated me with like 1,000 viewers. And it was like, what is happening? I literally thanked every single person that followed my channel, which my content at that point probably wasn't very good because it was just me dying over and over, thanking people. But it was one of those things where you have to take that risk. You have to really get out there and network. And I think that, I think everybody's journey is probably somewhat similar to really continuing to network, going to TwitchCon, talking to Co, like having those experiences. Are there any things that you or tips that you can give the audience about networking that may help as they continue their journeys?
Quickly, if you're going into networking thinking, I need to figure out a way that this person is going to make my life better, you're doing it wrong. Networking is making friends, meeting people, finding out the things that you find common between each other. And if you find out something that they think is awesome and that you already know about, that's already a connection, right? Like when you make friends, it's easy to figure out how you can work well together. But if you're going into the relationship thinking, yo, I'm gonna get all I can out of this,
They're gonna follow me.
they're gonna know that you can sense that in people, right? Like how many people have felt that when somebody was like, yeah, let me get something out of you right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. And I know there's a bunch of people who felt it that didn't want to raise their hands because like, man, I don't know.
They're sitting right next
He's
to me.
sitting right next to me. I don't want to let him know. So like that's step one. Make friends. Don't try to make acquaintances, because when you're making friends and you're genuine with everybody you meet, it comes off and people know it. So that also means that people know it when you're aiming to get something out of them.
How is it in esports? How is that?
I would say networking in esports, people have the wrong conception where they think, oh, as long as if you just win everything, then all the things will happen to me.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
sure,
thought.
you get more opportunities to open up, but like being an esports athlete, half of it is literally building your brand. People, they can see you playing on a screen and see your virtual persona, if you will, your character all the time. And that's cool and all. But if you want people to follow you for reasons that aren't Smash, that's what building your brand is like. So if I go to a tournament, maybe there's other people there at a tournament for different reasons. Maybe there's big companies who are doing advertising. Maybe there's reasons that you want to partner with someone or partner with a company and do something outside of Smash. I told myself when I was even 15 years old and just first becoming a pro in Smash, I said, what if I could do more than just compete? What if I could run events too? So I was 15 years old, at my mom's house, making these huge posts on Smash boards, which was our forum back then, saying, I'm going to run a big tournament for the state of Florida. Come out here. If you want to compete, we'll share the pot, split it up, and make sure the winner gets everything, a standard tournament. And I had like 70 people I've never met in my life just show up to my mom's house, and I was just there, 15-year-old with a clipboard running a bracket. But here's the crazy part.
Lock the door.
Yeah, shout out to my mom for even letting that happen. But she's a sweet woman. But the fact is, everyone was very cordial. They were happy to be there. It's almost as if you're part of a community, and I think if you like Smash, that means you have good taste in things. First of all, so automatically everyone's chill. I'm just like, yeah, we're all people of culture. And then there's still how it works, right? You compete, you win or you lose. You report your matches, and if you lose, it's cool. You stay, you play friendlies, you have all that. But even when I was there, I believe one of the students here at Full Sail, his name is Eric or Kira, I think. He's one of the people here. He came to that event when I was like 15 or 16 years old, and even him back then, before he was part of Full Sail, had his camera, filming content, filming like a vlog or something. And it's just really interesting to see that it goes that far back. So when you're thinking, what more can I do anything else? The answer is always yes. And right now, because of that impetus, that very, very big start, I'm now helping out with Full Sail. I'm the CEO of Overlords of Orlando, which is a big tournament series, thank you, here in Orlando, and we've partnered with Full Sail now as the official venue for those events. And so we ran an event in April, and it went, 400 people just came driving from Georgia, from Miami, from Tampa, all out just to come to this event with that, NXT level style production. And it's so beautiful to see how far it's grown.
Can we see some hands? Were any of you guys at that event in April? Okay, only a handful. Next one, we want to see all of you there.
Yeah, I thought it would be 0 hands, to be honest, because it's a Smash event. But even still, the fact that you guys are hearing of it is really, really nice. There's going to be another one soon at some point.
Very soon.
But yeah, long story short, networking in esports, make sure that if it's a person or a company you want to have a future with, it helps to have already had a past with, whether it's a common interest, a common event you guys met each other at, something that you guys have in common, or even a mutual benefit. Something
or even liking the product.
Exactly.
Right? Like oh my gosh, I got to do a commercial with Asus because my friend Miss 5000 Watts, if you don't know who she is, she's incredible, but she couldn't go, and she was like, you have to do it. And it was the next day, and I was like, okay, I'm going to San Fran. And I did this, and the footage they used was literally not script. It was me just talking about the 4K monitor and how much I loved it, and how much as a kid I just wished I had an Asus monitor that was like this. And that's what they used. And there's so many cool things coming in the future that I can't talk about, but it's gonna be really awesome. And that would have never happened if I didn't actually love what I was using, the products they made, things like that. Yeah, that was a really cool experience.
Yeah. Let's talk about partnerships, sponsorships. I mean, you have insane amount of partners and sponsors with the band and everything you're doing. I know that one thing as people are getting started on Twitch, they think like, oh, I need to get sponsored. I need a whatever, and like talk a little bit about your journey going through those things, and then kind of your thoughts on when you may have gotten your first, or how that whole kind of process went for you.
What's nice is what I've been learning about Twitch, because I've only been doing Twitch for about, like I said, realistically, seriously, about a year, but I've been doing Trivium for 20 years. So I feel like the Trivium metaphor easily applies to the Twitch metaphor, and I've kind of applied a lot of the same philosophies. With Trivium, I've always told fans, don't think you have to play this, and you can apply this to Twitch stream, you can apply this to your major, you can apply this to whatever you like. Don't think you have to do or use what your heroes use. Just because they use that's what they used when they started off. But there is no right or wrong answer with gear. Just like Hungrybox was saying, he's still jamming on an old school system, and that's incredible. Like finding what you love. Because like for me, I use Epiphone over Gibson. Gibson owns Epiphone, but the reason why I made a signature Epiphone guitar is I made something that I wanted our fans to be able to afford. I know that if it was a Gibson signature, that's a $5,000 guitar. No one wants to buy a $5,000 guitar, and their guitars are incredible. They might be seeing this and hearing this quote, but I say this all the time. And with Epiphone, I knew I wanted something that could be accessible by everyone, because I thought about myself. I thought about myself being a kid going to the music store, and I'd see my favorite guitar player's guitar. I'd see, oh, it's $550 or it's like $500. I can maybe afford that if I work my butt off, beg my parents, and get a part-time job. But then I'd find out he plays the $5,000 version. But that's what kind of stifled me in realizing that I want something that is easily attainable, that it's something that everyone can use. So there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to gear or sponsorships. But when it comes down to actually wanting to find sponsorships, I find the most organic thing, just like we've been talking about, things that you truly love. Like I said in the previous the commentary thing, things that you naturally are gravitating towards, like a style of music or an ethnicity of food or a sport or a TV show. When you truly love something deep down and you know that, hey, I loved that Asus monitor, like she was mentioning. I loved this product or this gaming chair, or I loved that guitar company. If that's something you love and it really connected with you, I believe that that's something that if those companies look at you later on, they're going to feel that organic, true relationship and that true desire to be with them. And I think that says everything. But don't feel like you need to have... So, what a sponsorship is typically in the music world, it's free gear for promo. So if you already have the gear and you're already making amazing things, let's just use music for the example, you're already making songs that you love, you're already recording songs that you love, or you're already playing drum beats that you love, or you're making amazing content off your favorite game, you're set. You don't have to like attain some other thing. There's not something that's gonna help find that creative spark other than a creative spark in itself. So don't try to chase it in the way, like, same thing, that's another metaphor for music, and apologies if you're like, I don't play an instrument, but I've found that the worst times to write a song or to write a record are during writing time. To set myself, be like, I want to write a song right now. That's the time where I feel like it becomes forced. And I feel like you can apply the same thing with your stream. Just have fun with it. Do what you naturally love, and don't say, I'm gonna make this successful right now. Don't worry about that. Worry about building what you love, and as long as you're having fun, hopefully that snowballs into something fantastic.
I completely agree with anything with sponsors or partners. It has to be something you love. A lot of times I've had things where I'm on Twitter, I see a product or they see me, and either I reach out to them or vice versa, and they say, hey, do you want to try this out? and we'll send you some free product. If it's something that I don't like or don't love, I think one time they sent me, like, it was like a phone case company, a startup. I'm like, I'll give them a shot. Or like a skin. It just didn't work at all, didn't apply. And I just told myself, I can't promote your product because I don't think it's good enough yet. If it's gonna be something that I love, I wanna make sure that my fans will like it too. Sometimes in esports, you get lucky. In college, before I was that huge into esports, I was a kid staying up for his engineering exams every night, drinking Monster, driving around his Honda Civic to class, and eating a lot of Jersey Mike's. And now all three of those companies sponsor Team Liquid, which is really weird, but it's sick because I already love those things.
You won.
Yeah, I know. It's really odd. I say it a lot, but it's like sometimes it just happens. But now that I am in this level in esports and Team Liquid, and they are partnered with Team Liquid, we can make content with them. I flew out to California about a month ago, and I literally had one of the flagship stores in Jersey Mike's teach me how to make a sandwich. We filmed a web series called Hungry AF, where I sort of don't worry about what it stands for, but just, where it's me reviewing food, learning how to make it, just like, because my name is Hungrybox, and I've always loved, whenever I travel to tournaments, there's always a lot of really cool local places, so I made a show out of it, just a fun thing for fans to appreciate, and it really became a really fun thing to do. So when you have a chance to partner with them, you can do that, and it just really makes it a lot easier when you already use products you love.
Whoever your editor is on those videos, give them a raise.
Oh, they hate
it. It is
me.
hilarious.
They really hate me. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, can you make sure you put golden font in this with spinning letters? Thanks, with rain effects. But like Matt was saying, if you're gonna have a partnership and you're lucky enough to get it, make sure you use it, make sure you love it, and make sure you give dues where they're due, right? If they request, can you use this for X amount of time, if you have anything contractual, it really shows good faith when you follow up to every single part of a contract. It shows good faith when you're someone that they can trust, because not only does that mean one good deal, it means you have 10 more coming your way. So make sure you're a person, you're transparent, make sure you have good faith in the product, and everything is open.
I would actually say don't rush for partnerships or sponsorships. When I started streaming, I had no idea that I wanted to ever get partnered. I didn't care about getting partnered. The first time I had a gear issue, and someone was like, hey man, why don't you have a tip bar so I can help you get that gear? And I was like, why would I put that there? So I was streaming for the love of it. And eventually, when you're doing the thing that you love, and if you get success at the thing that you love, the sponsorships are going to come anyways. And it's not much different in streaming. Most sponsorships that you hear are affiliates. It's like affiliate ships. So here, we'll send you some gear. We'll give you some links. You'll get a percentage back on the links. But I will definitely double down on and make sure it's something that you love. The first time I put on a pair of Gunners, I knew I needed more of them in my life. I actually don't wear glasses, but
Can I try those?
yeah, these are. That's one of their lenses that
It should be an ad.
It's not an ad because it's like they're.
I like it. I like it.
Everything is lemonade.
It is, but like
Now
for me,
my
it's like.
eyes are safe.
But for me, I'm going to be in front of a screen at some point every day for a good amount of time. So why would I not be putting protection in front of my eyes? So since I started doing it, I did it on a regular basis, and they made me a visionary on their website. So like, I'm up there next to like Rampage
good.
Jackson,
I like
which is
those on
Beast.
you.
They do look good on
They
you.
look really good on you.
I can't see myself.
Right.
Hashtag like didn't mean it to be an ad. But no, like that,
MD now.
right. But for me, it's like I have to love a thing if I'm going to tell people about it. Like if you don't love it, people will know.
See?
Yeah, you took a selfie.
You liar.
No.
Very pro.
You know it. But no, it's like when you love a thing, it doesn't make a difference, and it's easy to be excited about it.
Absolutely.
For me, that's it. Like if I'm excited about a thing, I don't care how much it costs. I want the thing. Good game. Give it to me. Like that's. If you don't give it, I prefer if I'm going to get a sponsorship or something, it's going to be something that I would have went and bought anyways. And that works for me. Like I get a lot of Elgato gear, luckily, because I would buy all of the Elgato gear I could get my hands on. Like I have 2 Stream Decks. They gave me one. I went and bought another one. I was like, screw that. I need it because I'm weird and I do things that I want to have a Stream Deck on each one of my computers. So make it something that you would get anyway. And that's step one.
I think it goes into the integrity of it, right? You want to really be passionate about something that you feel that you could share with your viewers, because you want to make sure that you're providing them the best quality of stuff. If it's just something that you don't really care about, you probably shouldn't be sharing that, right? What about you, Mav?
Well, influencer culture, the word is disgusting, but it's very true. Like, I can't tell you how many times someone has purchased something that I wore these HyperX earbuds because I was like, I'm tired of a headset. I don't want headset hair today. And someone tweeted me like, I got them. And I was like, that's not an ad. So that was really cool. But for me, I'm very variety. So I'm not super niche right now. I'm trying a bunch of different things, like a podcast and all sorts of stuff. So when it comes to getting sponsored, I'm very particular. I'm very strict. Sometimes I'll try something different, like, oh, what is the weirdest one we did? It was like this survival game, and it was real alpha, but it was real fun. And I did that with my team, and I'm on a team of different variety casters where we just focus on entertaining, being really good friends, and making really cool content together. And
What's the name of that team?
Would You Kindly is my team. So if you ever want to meet a bunch of goofballs, make sure to come and be embarrassed. But that's my team.
We once, early on, I think with Curse, which was my team before Liquid, we had a sponsor named Energems.
Oh, God.
They were
Ooh.
they were M&Ms the size of $50, filled with caffeine.
Right? They're so bad for you.
I'm not gonna say whether or not
They're so bad for you.
you know.
Oh my gosh.
I like Monster better.
But yeah, like I have a team. I'm not doing this alone anymore. And you sort of have to learn about the things that you will and will not share. Like, would you watch your own show? Would you look at your own products? Would you be really hyped about what you're hyped about? Like, you really kind of have to go back and look at that. And so I have a team who helps me find sponsored deals. And I have a lawyer and a tax guy. And do your taxes, for the love of God.
Very important.
Very important. But I'm really lucky because they were my friends throughout my entire career, and they started their own thing. And so you want to just make sure that you're taking it slow for when you start and check it out, try everything. If you want to, usually when I do like a live read or like a hashtag ad, and it's such a goofy thing, like watching a trailer or something, I'll either make it extremely goofy and satire and be like, guys, guess what? We're watching baseball for the next 30 seconds. And we'll try something out like that. But you really kind of do put your spin on that. I can't tell you how many times I've turned down things just because it just did not fit. It wasn't a good product. You just have to have that integrity, or people are going to call you out on that 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I think understanding and knowing what your brand is really important. I know that you do this a lot. You're very into jiu-jitsu and your health, and so the things that you are taking on as endorsements and things like that, really are embracing what you are, right? What you stand for. So I would love to talk more about understanding and kind of really trying to focus on your brand and what that means to each one of you guys.
It goes back to the common theme that all of us are talking about that I really love, that it's a common theme with all of us, is an organic passion for what you are into and what you love. And that's what's going to happen. Exactly what we were talking about. Like, I've always been into, like, just like you were talking about local food. Local food is my favorite thing in the entire world. That's what I love to do when we're on tour. Yes, we play shows. That's really cool. But my favorite part is like eating the best thing of every country that I'm in, or every city I'm in, or every state I'm in. So I've always been really about like everything that's going to go in that I'm going to consume is going to be really good. So I was like approached by a couple different like gaming energy companies. I was like, this isn't for me. This isn't organically me, so it doesn't make sense. But thankfully, I was approached by Guard of Life, which is a company I really dig, and this is not a plug, but it's just because it's all like organic. It's from Florida. It makes sense. And when I'm streaming, like that's a couple of things I've been trying to push lately with streaming is the option to be able to sit and stand, because those are long hauls of hours. Like the pros are pulling 8 to 10 to 12-hour days. That's pretty brutal. So I think the option and I'd like to push hopefully more healthy alternatives for streamers where they can do the sit and stand, take lunch breaks, take food breaks, drink more water. Instead of eating fast food, do something like a protein bar, something healthy, make something, stream your meal prep, stream the yoga that you're doing on the side of the desk. Every sub, do like 15 burpees or 20 push-ups, something like
not
that.
burpees, please.
I mean, usually your chat will be like, go.
Yes, and
They'll
it's-
tell you to go. They'll literally just be like, "We're waiting. You
Yeah.
can't talk."
I'll
anymore."
go into cardiac arrest after my 10th sub. It'll be ridiculous.
But so it's really important, just as you are growing something that's important, growing your channel or growing what you do and what you love in life, you need to be taking care of yourself at the exact same time, whatever that may be. And I generally always push that the most important things to have in a mammal's life is a physical outlet, something you like, whether it's running, jogging, yoga, soccer, jujitsu, whatever that thing is, and then something that's like a fun hobby. Like my fun hobby is Fortnite. Like when I have off time, I'm going to play that, and it's something that I want to get good at. I've learned from. I've been very fortunate to become friends with one of my favorite Fortnite streamers, Dakota's, and he's been teaching me things to practice. You know, things like that. So he gives me cool drills and stuff like that that I work on. Same with Drunky, who absolutely eviscerated me this Sunday, is also somebody that I'd like to call like a Fortnite coach. Like he showed me these fun things. So find something that's fun that you really enjoy to be your hobby outlet. And then also find something that can be that physical outlet. So that way, you, the entertainer, hopefully, in whatever that medium is fully rested, is fully taken care of. And you need to take care of yourself first, and then take care of everyone else that you're hoping to grow with you.
Matt, if you like local food, I would love to buy you dinner because
I've got a list for you. I've got a list broken down by styles of food.
Do you like Korean barbecue?
Yes.
There's a place called Easy Bon, not
Excuse
far
me.
from here.
Been there,
Yes.
been there. Let's
To me,
do it.
it's the best one in the state. I love it. But
I should cook for you one day for your show.
my dream come true, dude. I'm ready.
You guys, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Do that.
There you go. But like I said, easy passions, easy hobbies. Outside of gaming, when I have free time, the little that I do, it's nerdy, but I'm an audiophile. I really like collecting and listening to music on vinyl. I also like collecting like headphones and headsets and just things to make everything sound like as really good as possible. And
Why have we not hung out before?
That's
I know, dude.
adorable.
I got to show you my vinyl and headphone collection now.
Did you two just become best friends?
Yes, we did.
I think we've been. It's like Squidward when he first ate a Krabby Patty. He's like, oh, the wasted years, and then now we're just now seeing this. Thank you, Matt.
Melee is also the best Super Smash Brothers, by the way. It is.
Aww.
I wanted to say that earlier, but I thought I'd say it now.
Can I be the best
go.
man?
Yeah. So we're getting married now, but I'm gonna.
Yes, we are.
Literally though, it's just like this, organic, just like having fun. It's like if you already like it, it's so simple. Just enjoy doing it, and people will already feed off that infectious energy or that infectious interaction. It's just another form of entertainment and media. Same as you see on TV or sports. Make it happen. Make it what you do. And most of all, take breaks in between, right? He was saying it's very important to be physical. Definitely, a lot of us, especially in this day and age, we work on computers, on desks, on our phones. That's okay. It's the way things are in 2019. But I feel like if you don't take breaks to either walk around or just to take your mind off things, you might get into this sort of either tunnel vision, which might either hamper your creative vision, which is very important for all of you guys, or hamper your actual energy and productivity in doing things. Have variety. It's okay to have hobbies. It's okay to, if you're feeling overwhelmed, especially, I don't say it enough, but being too much on social media, it hurts you mentally. I feel social media is a very beautiful thing. We're more connected now more than ever. The amount of opportunities that present themselves is unmatched. But when it becomes your day-to-day, your sort of dopamine fix every single time, it eats at you, and you start to forget what's really important. And trust me, in-person interactions, things in real life, getting some fresh air, there's really nothing like it. So always forget that there's more to things, there's more to life than just what happens on a screen. Make streaming important, make media important, have that proper balance, and you will flourish every single time.
And to follow up, that definitely don't overly focus on numbers. Like when I first started streaming, I'd keep looking at the viewer count, keep looking at the viewer count. Don't do that. Like it's
look at 'em.
Minimize it. Just minimize it.
It's not a contest. It's not any of that, because and all of you already being here, already being at the school means you guys have career paths in mind before the streaming thing. So stream that as well. Stream what you love as the theme. Maybe that should be what this panel is called. But don't focus on that stuff too much, because
They just changed it.
It'll pull you back. There's always someone who could do something better than someone else in the world. And you can always, like the way I like to put my philosophy with everything in life, I know the first part's gonna sound pessimistic, but it's to lead to an optimistic point. I know I will never be the best singer in the world. I know I will never be the best guitar player in the world or in the biggest band, but I practice to be those things knowing that it's not gonna happen. So it's like a positive, like not positive thing. It's this.
I mean,
think you're the best.
Yeah, it's kinda like
I
Michael
think you're the
Jordan,
best.
right?
no. So
There's a lot of dudes in the NBA, but not everyone's a Michael Jordan.
Exactly. So it's important to do what you love, not worry about hitting a quota on that. If it becomes and transitions into your job, it becomes a little bit different. If you are a full-time streamer, you do have to work on some of those aspects, but it's all about making sure you're happy and taken care of first, or everything else will suffer.
Camper, I've been listening so long and learning so long that I don't even remember what the question was anymore. I was just enjoying all of this and like soaking in.
I like the bromance thing happening.
Yeah, like
I think, well, and we can go back on track here because I think part of it was understanding your brand and being on brand with things. Juan, recently, you may have seen a viral clip on the internet. Someone threw a crab at him during a tournament, and you could have gone two ways with that, right? You could, you know, it
Or
could have
5
been,
ways, but
yeah. But you rolled with the punches and you
Was
made
it
a thing
cut?
out of it.
I mean, could he eat it?
Yeah, getting hit with stuff on any kind of stage stinks. Yeah.
has it happened to you too?
Oh yeah, bottles of glass, plastic. Once before a festival show, this festival called Download, it was Metallica headlining Korn here. We were right before Korn, and I was standing behind the backdrop, had my guitar, I was all ready to go. It was about 2 minutes before stage. I see something flying over the backdrop. I'm like, what the heck is that? I look up, it bounced off the backdrop, and I'm doused with really warm liquid. I'm like, I know exactly what that is. It's human excrement.
Oh, no.
I was looking around. I was looking at all the crews for Korn and Metallica. I was like, I need a towel. Someone please give me a towel. And they're like, no one handed me a towel. I'm like, well, stage time. You got to go on now. So this is when I had hair down to here. It's super puffy anytime it's in the sun. So I'm just doused. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going on now. And there's nothing you could do about it. You just have to roll with the punches sometimes.
Well, we'll see. Now I can't complain after that. I mean, I was very able to, avoid the crab coming down here.
good. That's good.
It's
Same.
fun. I feel,
Same.
yeah. I feel like your follower count is proportional to the number of things I've thrown at you for most cases. But it's just like in this case for Smash, it's like one of the few times it's ever happened to me to have an audience member do something like that, whether or not he was just trying to be funny or whether or not he was just trying to hit me. So in Smash, I play a character called Jigglypuff, and for a lot of reasons, Jigglypuff is considered sort of like watching the Patriots win a lot or the Warriors
Just
win
like
a lot.
really broken.
It's okay. She's not the best character. Never say
Broken.
that. I'll get into that's a different discussion. But listen. It's definitely not a crowd favorite by any means, and it's obvious to see why. A lot of people take it personally when they start saying something they don't like on screen. They start letting it to the player. Like maybe if someone really hated metal and really hated your music, and might think, man, this guy's music, I really don't like it. Maybe I don't like what he does in person either. Maybe I don't like the food that he likes. So there's really weird connections like that. But as he was saying, that shouldn't be your concern. Your concern is you have the position you're in because you found the thing that you are meant to do. Anyone who's a professional at anything is the person, they worked really hard, but they also found the thing that they were truly meant to do. You were meant to do metal music. You were meant.
You are my favorite man.
No, you.
Positive dude.
No, honestly. No. And it's funny because you're saying you just said, oh, I won't ever be the biggest band in the world, the best singer. My own father told me I would never be the best melee player in the world before he passed away. And I did it. I made it. I made it happen because I talked to the.
Yeah.
I know. And it's all for the right reason. Maybe he was just trying to protect me from some sort of lofty dream that I thought I had, and I didn't really expect it. But then again, none of us really expect to be here every single day or to see the goals or things that happen to us. And so.
It's really weird. It's really out of body, right?
No, it was very strange, and sometimes we say the joke it's all scripted. It's like it's like a Hollywood story or something like that. But listen, the more you enjoy it, the higher chance you have of obtaining that crazy what if goal. At one point, I was 13 years old, using my 56K modem connection to download footage of the two best players in the world playing at MLG. And I was just watching it. I was like, this is so cool. They're so good at the game. Can you imagine if I could do that? Man, it must be so cool. And then here I am. And it's like, wow. All of a sudden, this seat feels familiar. This controller feels familiar in my hands because you have to do it now. And it's part of your job. But all that considered, here we are. 13 years after my career started, someone throws a crab at me right after a big loser's run. A loser's run is when you lose earlier than expected in the bracket, and you have to climb your way, play double the amount of matches in order to win the tournament. Sometimes I pull it off, sometimes I don't. This is one of the cases where I did. I was very relieved when I won. I go to shake my opponent's hand. My opponent was Mango, who recently won a big tournament. So And then as I'm going down, the crab comes towards me, barely misses me. Yeah. And then I pick up the crab and I said, you know, who the F threw this to the crowd? And I looked into the audience and I still don't really know who it was.
You threw it back.
Soft shell Dungeness?
Oh, no, it was, we were in Maryland, so whatever those are.
Dungeness,
no.
that's a hard crab.
It was dead, but it was hard.
It was big.
spiky.
That's dangerous. Don't ever throw anything at anybody.
Yeah. And
No
some of the
crustaceans.
Except for compliments.
Yeah, instead of the 5 stages of grief or depression, it was the 5 stages of crustacean exception.
Yeah.
Because it was first, it was denial. Like, did that really just come towards me? Then I looked down, I held the
Crustacean
crab.
hog.
It was bargaining. I'm just like, okay, this is happening. I was very angry at first. I think the last thing I said was, do you know how hard I work? And then I shut my mouth and I walked off the stage because I didn't want to make that a thing. I walked off the stage and I drove straight to the airport because my flight was there. And all of a sudden, of course, on social media, you start seeing everywhere, ESPN and friggin' whatever it is, Polygon and all these different media outlets picking it up, all the FGC, the fighting community picking it up too because of how obscure it was. And the best thing I could have done there was to laugh it off. Because I laughed it off, and now it's become sort of like a thing that I'm known for. And, you know, even the people who didn't want to see me win, and it's always going to happen. There's a lot of people, the more successful you are, the more people sometimes are going to be resentful of that. But when they say something like that happens, something that ridiculous and in some ways unfair, even your detractors and your haters are going to be like, come on, dude, why'd you throw a damn crab at him?
I think I just came
Is
with
it?
$1 million merch idea for you. I don't know if I should say it out here, though.
Do you have a crab emote?
I do.
I think
H-box crabs.
Smart.
I was going to say plush crabs.
Yes, we'll talk.
Okay.
I got you.
Plush crabs. I got
But-
the theme song for you.
So I just got my own song by Trivium written on me. It's on Spotify. Eat that, Drake. No, but I'm gonna say you know what I did, and now this is a Twitch panel. Here's what I did. I went home. I put a picture of myself ordering a thing from Red Lobster, saying I'm gonna eat this crab on stream and get my own revenge. And then I put it on Twitter. I had 3,000 viewers, and I had the biggest sub-train of my life. 1,500 subscribers in a row for that one incident. Out of nowhere. And that just lifted me up because I can tell I've never had that. No matter how much success, even the biggest like win Evo, the World Championships, even I won that, nowhere near the amount of like éxito, to say in Spanish for that.
You can throw crabs at me if you want to.
And but yeah, long story short, you just take it something good, you laugh it off, you roll with the punches, and you embrace it. You embrace
You have to. You have to. You guys know what the internet's like, right?
Yeah. It's
awful.
Yeah.
It's awful and amazing, and it's loud. So you have to laugh it off because, you know, I get told every day if I'm a guy or a girl, or like, you should be in the kitchen, and I'm like, you really don't want me in that kitchen. You really don't. But you just have to laugh that stuff off.
I feel like for me, like just listening to all this just reinforces what I feel like is one of the things that I hold important to my brand is positivity. I was in the U.S. Air Force, security forces, and got sent overseas in the summer of 2002. Not the time you really want to leave the country to go to the desert. And I came home. But after we got home, I heard that there were rockets shot at our plane landing and taking off. The fact that I got back home was step one. So my belief in life, most of the time when people say, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I woke up this morning. Because I woke up this morning. Like, I'm on this side of the roses. If you're alive, you have the potential to change somebody's life in some amazing way, whether or not you see it. Like, every small act of kindness you can do to somebody has the potential to change their entire day, has the chance to change their entire life. That might be the nicest thing somebody has had done to them in a streak, in a loser's run of life.
Damn.
Giving some...
Damn.
So, like... So for me, being able to like work with St. Jude, being able to work with Extra Life, for those of you who don't know what St. Jude and Extra Life do, they help fund
Research.
cancer research, and they save kids' lives. So I think it's something like $30 powers St. Jude for like a second.
1 second, yep.
So like, if you can raise $300, you just powered a hospital for 10 seconds. A hospital that's saving children's lives. So that to me is an easy reason as to why anybody would want to support charities. I support 3 different charities primarily. First is St. Jude. Second is Extra Life. I'm actually an Extra Life ambassador this year, and I became the Extra Life United, which was amazing. And also I work with StackUp.org, which is a military-focused charity for military veterans and active duty. I feel like as a veteran, I got to give back. So if I can help kids and vets, then I'm a happy camper. But there's still a lot of stuff in between all of that. There's a lot of people that you can do kindness for wherever possible. So positivity changed your entire situation, and it helps you get to some of the highest highs you've had on Twitch. You know how easily that could have gone the complete opposite direction if you would have responded the way you wanted to? That would have been the thing on ESPN, and that would have been a much worse look. So there's always a way that you can make a bad situation awesome. Find the bright side of things. And my girlfriend hates me because I'm always like, well, on the bright side. And she's like, shut up about your bright side. Nobody cares about the bright side right now. I don't care. Let me sulk in this for a minute. And it's like, okay, touche, my bad. But that's me. That is my brand. That is who I am. And if I can tell a fart joke or two in the meantime, I'm going to do that.
We were mentioning charities a couple times, and you mentioned, I'm sure it's coming up later, but you were talking about CMN and Extra Life. What's been amazing, my wife and I, we just had newborn twins recently.
Oh my gosh.
They are
and they're so cute. I saw pictures, they're so cute.
If I look a little sleepy, that's why. Our son just learned how to sleep a week ago, but our daughter's been doing it for 3 months.
This man's a legend.
But I was over at Arnold Palmer Hospital, that's where our kids were born, and I've been very lucky to meet the CMN people for Orlando, Tyler and Steven. And they were taking me around to the NICU before we had our kids, and they were showing me these new devices that have been created. And what they're able to do, they found that infants in the womb had like different diseases like spina bifida. But with these tools, they were actually able to take the baby out from within in utero, operate, put them back in for the rest of the gestation period, and then the baby comes out basically cured of that. And they told me those machines were 100% funded by Extra Life from CMN, which absolutely blew my mind. So when I first met those guys, I was like, this is so cool. I was like, I would love that if I could do a little bit more. So we started obviously doing the Extra Life stuff. And you know, they would tell me about like, you know, bigger band pop stars. You know, I didn't get into the style of music I got into for fame and popularity. That would be pop music. That might be, you know, pop country, something like that. So I was like, I wish I could do something, because I was so inspired by their story of what they do with Extra Life, and what all these streamers have always been doing their entire careers, streaming and giving back. So we just launched a guitar charity. What it is, it's like, basically in 5 years, it's going to hopefully raise $500,000. 100% of the proceeds all go to charity. It's just buy 4 guitars a year, 1,000 giveaways per guitar. So that's what I'm so blown away. Like we keep talking about now 2 themes, you know, being genuine, but also positivity. And I think that's so important. We're talking, a lot of trains of thoughts happening now with this great conversation. We're talking about social media. Don't read negative comments. If you have a Twitch channel, you see something negative, time it out. If it's terrible, just ban them. Don't even worry about it. Don't address it. Don't think about it. Don't click YouTube videos that are purely there just for clickbait. If you see a negative comment, ignore it. Only spread positive comments. If you want to, like I would say, instead of, you know, negativity will always have more attention, just because. I wrote a song about it when I was 17. It's called Like Light to the Flies. It's about how people inevitably are attracted to scenes of tragedy and they can't handle it. It's just something that's in our nature.
Brain, yeah.
Force away from that and just spread positivity. Compliment people online instead of bringing them down. If you see it like a nasty story, don't interject. Don't worry about it. Don't share it. Don't think about it. Just share positive things. It's going to get less attention, but it's more important. You're going to feel better, and that toxic energy is not going to be stuck inside. Yeah, that's just positivity.
Also, you can just roast some of those negative comments.
You can. It's all varying. Like we were talking about, I feel like the crowd reaction was great. You walked off. You didn't say it. Like when I was younger, the first time I ever got hit with a shot glass on face while playing a show when I was 18, 19 years old. Because when we first came out, basically from the time I joined the band when I was 13 up until maybe 2007, it was rough. Like people just, when we're a local band, no one really giving us a chance, saying, you know, this style of music you're playing is dead, it's not worth it. Up until we started touring, we were pretty confident. We're like, you know, we want to be a big band. Like when I was 12 years old and I saw Metallica's 1989 Binge and Purge Seattle VHS, I said, that's what I want to do when I grow up. So every interview we did, I said, I want to be an arena band. I want to be a big metal band and make a dent in music history. A lot of my favorite bands didn't like that, and they were a little bit older than us in the scene, a little bit longer than us. So when they see this 18-year-old, we were bullied a lot by a lot of my favorite bands that had no idea that I loved them. They had no idea I had their posters in my room, and it was tough. And I remember on this one tour, We're out with a couple amazing bands. We were with direct support to a pretty beloved band at that point. I got pelted with a shot glass in the face, and my reaction was incorrect, and got in a lot of trouble for that. And thankfully, no one was hurt, but except for myself. But years later, after kind of growing a thicker skin, which that comes with time, but also remembering that you can tough through this stuff. We were co-headlining with Slayer in the UK, and that's a tough band to co-headline with. They're one of the biggest metal bands of all time. And we're playing in Manchester, and the UK was the first territory to ever accept our band as a band. Like, the US only came around on record 8, which is crazy to me. It took 8 records for the US to go, you know what, we get Trivium now. But in the UK, it was record 2. And I remember we came out there, a city that had always liked us, but this time it was 50-50 Slayer Trivium crowd. And I said, everybody make some noise. And it was like half the crowd made noise. Okay, that's weird. I said, all right, everybody that effing hates our band make some noise. The other half of the crowd made noise. And I said, look at that. I made you make noise for us even though you effing hate us. And then by the end of the show, it was like 95% of the crowd was into the show, where before it was 50-50. Negative, positive, and I was able to turn it around with that reaction. I feel like you could do the same thing in everyday life. You can always steer things positive for yourself. You can't change the reaction of the people that you're hoping that it's going to change, but you can change the way you feel about it. And sometimes that reaction will go in your favor, sometimes it won't. But at least you know for yourself it went in the direction you needed it to go.
That was the nicest roast I've ever heard in my life.
I use the real words
anyways.
I use the real words on stage, but
of course. But that's how you do it, though, right? Like, you still got to roast them a little bit, and then you still turn them to your side.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing.
So I want to definitely leave some time for questions, because I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few of them. But before we do that, I wanted you guys to have a chance to give kind of a shout out to your channels and where everyone could find you if they're not already following.
Awesome. Matthew K. Heafy on every single platform: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. Matthew K. Heafy. Thank you very much.
Liquid HBox on Twitter, Hungrybox on Twitch, and Liquid HBox on Instagram, which I started using a little more now as well. Stream 3 times a week.
DeeJay Knight, DeeJayKnight on Twitch, Twitter, and Insta, because I stream 5 days a week. Like, I have no life. But I also use a standing desk, because he was talking about chairs earlier. Please get a standing desk if you can, like, switch between the two. I got a herniated disc because I sat way too long, way too often. Switch it up a little bit. Standing desks are good.
I wanted to add really quickly that I know you guys are mentally exhausted, and that's not going to change. Just a heads up. I know that a lot of people in my industry, and our industry right now is very unknown, and no one really understands how mentally draining it can get and how taxing just living can be. And lately, it's been really hard on a lot of my friends. And they're doing incredible, but they don't see it because they see the immediate reaction numbers, or they see the comparison and someone's doing better or not. That's something I really did not want to forget to talk about, was that you really need to make sure you're mentally good to go. And if you're not, there's so many resources out there to help. And personally speaking, like, if I wish I would have known that I was going to be mentally just annihilated all the time. And so just remember that. I know it's really hard. The school is really hard. And you think that you're not going to make it, but you're going to make it in everything that you do. Just make sure that you keep you as number one. Also, I'm Mav. I'm the MavShow literally everywhere. At the MavShow podcast, the MavShow Instagram, the MavShow YouTube, the MavShow. It was going to be the Man Show, but I wanted to be like this really ridiculous character, which I think I've done okay with. So the MavShow, not the Man Show, but I tried. I tried to use the SEO, actually. I tried so hard, but yeah.
Awesome, and I am Dammit Bennett on pretty much everything, Twitter and Twitch as well. But if you have questions, we have microphones on both sides that you can come to, and we'll go back and forth between the two.
Can we get a round of applause for Bennett's beard?
Oh. I literally did nothing. I let it grow, you know?
It is exemplary, sir.
I look up to you one day.
This is like a week right here, by the way.
Keep going. Keep going.
I had to shave mine because it's just too great in here.
Alrighty. Let's start with...
Over here.
Oh.
Hey there. I'm Peter. My Twitch and everything else is PJD Jets.
Hi, Peter.
Love that.
I want to know, with going to Full Sail and on top of that trying to make money on the side, I lose hope and my ambition to stream, and I love streaming. But how do you keep your chin up and work through that and continue streaming when you feel like that?
Don't stream is the first thing I would tell you.
Okay.
Because yes, keeping up your stream is important if you find streaming that important, but mental health is also the most important. If you aren't comfortable enough that you can get on and provide a good show, don't. Relax. Watch a movie. Sit back and enjoy the sunset. It's Florida. You know how nice it is in Florida most of the year, especially in Christmas time. Like when my family was in Chicago, like man, like there's always something to do to better how you're feeling. And if you need to do that instead of streaming, by all means do that.
I had to balance streaming and professional gaming and school at the University of Florida for Chemi. Make streaming or gaming or hobbies your reward for doing well in an exam.
Yeah.
Make it, because when you make it your reward, you're like, yes, I can stream now. You're in a good mood. Your audience will be in a good mood. But when you do it and look at it as a chore or work, your audience will know that. So focus on school. Focus on getting that through, because your success in there will reflect in your happiness on everything else you do.
Even if it's once a week or every other week, just make it like a party. Like make it like your time to just let your hair down and just kill some dudes.
All right, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Hi, my Twitch handle is Nekosami. You probably see me. I have a question. I'm pretty sure most of people here have either started or want to start streaming. And I know that you guys have more of power to help others, but is there any advice for anyone who wants to start helping others right now? Like just start their channel today.
Stream together. Stream together. Let everyone know. Be like, hey guys, I know that we all want to stream, and I'm kind of wanting to do it this Friday. If you want to come hang out with me, come hang out, or come play games with me. As long as you can get at least 5 people, tell your mom, tell your neighbor, tell your siblings, tell anybody. 5 people, you're way ahead and above just like 90% of Twitch.
I want everyone right now, go to the person next to you and just high five them right now. Everyone in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That is glorious.
Congrats. You just made a new friend. Good. Get to it.
Cool.
Get to work.
Follow each other and just support.
Follow that friend on Twitch.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say, I'm sure everyone in this entire
Mosh
room.
pit.
Mosh.
I'm sure everyone in this room probably has a Twitch channel. All of you should all be meeting each other today before you walk out of here, and all of you should each follow each other because you're all at the
Yes.
same thing. You're all in the same headspace. You're all here to achieve the
You're all
same thing.
going through the same thing.
Everyone meet everyone today before you walk out of here.
You can stream together and play games together and
Absolutely.
just rally together as a student. Like there's so much possibility here.
And there are other ways that you can help your buddies be mods. And on the days that you can't stream, if you're not able to stream, be a mod in their stream. Help them
Be a part of
get
their
rid of the
community.
trolls that are negative
Yeah.
trolls.
Go ahead.
I'm Nick. My Twitch is Zombie Waffles.
Hey.
Great name.
I like
love
that
that.
name.
I'm always up to co-stream, but I did want to tell Hungrybox that I've watched him since 2014, 2015. And actually he inspired me to I started a little group in my middle school. Well, we would even bring it to school. We had a teacher sponsor a club, and we had little tournaments, which Melee is the best one. That's the only one that I've ever really played. But it also inspired me to pick my main, which wasn't Jigglypuff, but it was another sub-tier. I was Dr. Mario main, because that was just a fun thing that no one ever does. But my question is, is it better to be a variety streamer or to find a niche and kind of just hold on to that?
You said you started a Smash Club in your school?
Yeah.
Let me shake your hand. Come here.
It's
Thank you,
really
buddy.
up to you. It's really up to you. If you found your niche and you found something and you're like, this is all I want to do, then do that. But if you're like, I kind of want to see what's going on, then do that.
I would honestly say it's important to, just like starting a Smash Club in school, if you have other people that want to join something that you're doing, it makes it a lot easier. If you're not sure where to start, it always goes with your absolute favorite game first. Start with your favorite super favorite game of all time. For me, it used to be Super Mario Brothers for the NES, actually, number 3. And then I liked, games like Super Mario 64, GoldenEye, Kirby games, WarioWare, a lot of.
GoldenEye, oh my
yeah,
God.
As long as you don't use Oddjob, we're cool.
I was the odd job proximity mines guy.
Savagery.
I'm also a Kirby melee. I don't know if that's good or bad.
So Kirby's the worst character in Melee.
Yes.
Excuse me, Kirby's my main. No.
All right, Money Man.
Okay.
I feel that, but yeah, play your absolute favorite game because that's such an easy platform to start on. You know everything about it. You know the ins and outs. You know the cheat codes, the hacks. Just love it. Love your favorite game.
That's awesome.
Hi, my name is Christian, or also known in Twitch as Pirate King Cian, or the Captain. My question is, I've been consistently streaming for 51 days. I'm trying to aim for that 1 year. And I would just want to know what type of social media should I use just to break that open?
All of them.
What's your main game right now?
League.
League. I mean, I'm not sure what the best league social is, but I know at least for like Fortnite, it's definitely Instagram clips. I was gonna say if you said
The
Fortnite, I would
hashtag
say
is
Instagram.
really big, yeah.
Yeah, go with that.
Before I forget, if you're on Twitter or anywhere and you want to post a really cool clip of what you've done, the biggest mistake I see everyone do is they post a URL to a YouTube video. No. All it's going to do is post like a window that you have to go in there, you have to click into the link, and then it'll maybe play hopefully in your browser.
That takes too long. Way too long.
Exactly. Upload the raw clip to your Twitter or to your Insta. It'll play automatically. Your viewers will stop what they're doing. If it's me landing a rest with Jigglypuff, and I post it on there and it's raw, and all of a sudden people are scrolling and they hear, "Oh my God, I hit that!" And they're gonna stop and be like, "What? What is he talking about?" It's way more engaging. Raw video clips, It's
about 2.5 minutes to catch someone's attention to keep them from scrolling. That's like not much time.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you just post something cool and just let it be out there, and hopefully it catches.
And for League of Legends, most esports have a subreddit too. Reddit's another good option as well. Just use all of them. Use Twitter.
And on the community, right? Because it's
exactly.
very like if you're going niche, if you're starting out, I started out niche, and I eventually did like random game days on like Thursdays. But I was really in on the community. I helped the directory out. I helped, like Destiny is the perfect example of the directory support. Like I don't know what I would have done without Destiny as a community. They have a Reddit, they have a forums, they have community managers. Like you can send them clips and they would love to see them. Okay. They probably have a Discord server for clips. Like there's so many things.
Thank you.
So yes, all of them is your answer.
All of them.
All of the social medias.
Branch out.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Thank you. My name's Joelle, and I actually mainly stream on YouTube, but my YouTube my handle name is It's Josie Posey, and going back on the first question that was asked earlier, I want to know what you all do personally whenever you're going through a time where you're just like, oh gosh, like, everything just seems overwhelming and you don't have the energy to stream, or you're just like afraid to stream. So like with me personally, like I enjoy streaming too, but you probably can't tell, but I'm shaky right now. I have really bad anxiety, but like one of the reasons why I started streaming, making videos is because one, I was inspired by people that I used to watch when I was younger, but also to kind of help get past my anxiety, because I'm just like, But like whenever you're having a time like that, like what do you personally do to like overcome that and like get back into that flow or streaming and
I definitely sympathize with the anxiety part. I mean, my entire life I had social anxiety disorder. I had a hard time being around people, being in front of people. So me like playing in a band for a living was very weird. It was very difficult at first. That thing was kind of a trial by fire. There are more gentle ways. I mean, I'd say like we keep talking about taking care of our bodies and our minds. A big thing I want to say is and I'm not saying that this is where you're going, but this is where I'm going, because I do have severe anxiety as well, just like all of us do. We all have these things, and it's important to address it. It's important to know there is nothing wrong with talking to a professional, a friend. Sometimes friends and family, it can be difficult because there's emotion attached. But I mean, I see a therapist regularly. I feel like it's so the metaphor for it. It's like getting a massage for your brain. That's what I like to say. It's a chiropractic for your mind. So that is if it's ever super dark and it gets to that place. But what I always say when you're having those feelings is, I've always channeled it in the music. I've always put every single feeling I've ever had in my entire life, the exact words or mass it in metaphor of Greek mythology or Japanese history or whatever it may be, but really putting pen to paper and hearing yourself either say it, speak it, sing it, whatever that may be, and even doing a video of that. And you addressing, like you saying, I do have anxiety, I love to stream, this thing makes me feel a little bit better, but it's still there. Write some words, write some poetry, even if you've never done that before or if you've done it a lot, do that and make something where you can actually see it physically getting out of your system. That would be my recommendation.
Most of the time when you feel like you just can't hit that button to go live, I'll tell my community, hey, I don't feel like it today, I'm sorry. And 99% of them are like, dude, you're good. Go do you. Like that, they're not going to be upset that you're not streaming that day if you need that time, and that's really important. So I would definitely encourage to.
The nerves will go away the more you do it too. They will.
I was gonna say, your community cares about you. They'll understand. And also, if you just need to pep yourself up, think of your favorite thing to do that is not streaming, has nothing to do with streaming. That's just your IRL. Like, I would love to do that right now. Go do it. Because that's going to help you feel better. And then you may not stream, but you'll definitely feel better.
I can talk from personally. I suffer from severe anxiety. I probably have panic attacks way more now than ever. And there are a bunch of different things that I do. I do breathing. I do affirmation post-its on my mirror that remind me like, hey, it's okay. Sometimes I will go live and I'll be really honest with my community and be like, hey, I'm having a really bad day today. And usually by the end of that hour that I gave to them and wanted to tell them face to face, rather than feeling terrible about not streaming or not showing up, really brought a human element and made someone relate to me. And they had tips, or they were like, hey, yeah, or someone just comes in and just shows you so much love. And sometimes you just need a jolt of just change, just really shake you up. Like maybe someone did something funny or posted a weird song request, which happens all the time for me. And I totally forgot what I was upset about. So don't give up. Don't be so hard on yourself. And usually anxiety is a future thing. It's usually something that you're stressed about in the future. Something that you're like, oh God, what if this doesn't work out? What if whatever? You got to be really good to yourself. Because, yeah.
My first ever tournament ever, my leg did this uncontrollably. This happened every single month for 3 months. And then the first time I ever finally made it out of pools, this happened. And my foot's been down ever since. And I've been playing this exact same way. It's something that comes with experience, with time, and I understand anxiety is a very, very difficult thing, but I also want to say, you're awesome for getting on that mic.
Yes!
Anxiety.
Go follow her!
No. I know how hard that is. It happened to me when I was little too, when I had some stage fright. But as soon as you do it, as soon as you conquer it, like my first time ever going on a roller coaster, I was scared shitless. Sorry, but the first time it's ever happened, and as soon as I went on the Hulk at Universal, I'm like, again, I want to go on it again every single time.
Even now, even today, I was like, do I know how to scream?
Yeah. So you're already making the right steps. You're gonna be fine. I promise you.
We got time for a couple more questions, so we're going to do some rapid fire ones.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We like to talk.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Grant.
Hi, Grant.
I'm part of a Dungeons & Dragons live stream.
Oh, hell yeah.
Play more board games. Board games are amazing.
Oh my God, please, more D&D.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's called Campfire Quest.
Ooh.
But my question to you is, what do you guys take off your plate? I know some of you might have editors to edit down your streams and put on YouTube, but if you hire graphic designers or marketing or even accountants, what do you do, and then what do you pay someone else to do?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Whatever you can handle and not go crazy,
Right.
you can do.
You're better off doing things yourself starting out because you know you better, and there are people who do it professionally. I have never had an editor. I have had maybe a few goes with it, but it's something that I'm very particular about my content, and I haven't found someone. So if you're looking for a job, there are a lot of people who want an editor, but those are the sorts of things. The major thing is financial stuff that I was I can't skimp on this. I need someone who's in the industry, who knows their stuff. But when it comes to that sort of stuff, really try it out and see if you like it. but focus on what you're good at. If you're good at being live and talking and doing that sort of thing, do clips. Encourage your community to do clips. My community is too many clips, actually. And I'm always like, which one is the good one? Because they're all the same thing. But it's really awesome. And just maybe doing like a contest to have your viewers sort of help you out and be like, hey guys, like we're doing like a top clip of the week. Like whoever does the really weird clip. And usually it's me picking my nose or something stupid. Like, that's usually what I would do.
I don't know if you were here for the earlier panel, but they did. Kevin from MLG was up here, and he had talked about the first time he got a gig with MLG. He said that he could do something, and he thought he could, but then he looked it up online and learned it, and then went and did it, and now this is part of his career.
Yeah.
So you know,
you can learn anything online.
You can learn anything.
Anything.
Also, if it's graphic or something like that, you're in a room at full scale. Like you have somebody that you know that you could probably give some money to do a thing for you.
You're all friends now,
solved.
so.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I'm telling you guys, the streamer space is dying for new graphic designers and editors and people who are creative, who want to make cool stuff. And that could be your in as well, and to meet creators and help them with their
Emote
pressure
artists.
pains.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, the most successful people ever in the world always are the people who are smart enough to know when to ask for help.
Yes.
That's the way I see it. So
Outsource when it's too hard.
right. If it's something you're not good at, ask the right people for it. If you're good at it, stick it to yourself. If you're not good at it, ask your buddies. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
Next question. We get in as many as we can.
Hello, my name is Devin Pierre, and my Twitch channel is Diaboo, A-B-U-U, as the monkey off Aladdin. But my question is that I'm using Streamlabs plus OBS, and I'm wondering, because I'm having issues with the game captures with them sometimes, and I'm wondering if there's a better software to use, because other than that, I'm just still using it because of all
I
the
use
commodities.
OBS. I don't use Streamlabs OBS. It's kind of glitchy for me. XSplit is really cool. They got a kind of a cool team. Lightstream is actually coming out. It's actually a browser-based streaming platform that you can check out. My friend Brandon, he's also the community manager, so if you want to link up after, I can kind of give you direction for that.
All right, thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello. My name is Thean. My Twitch link is Thean blah blah. No H's in the blahs, please. And I was wondering, what were your role models when growing up? Like, who did you look up to get to the point where you are today?
You know, it's weird.
God.
But for some reason, Keanu Reeves. And
Yes.
I love the guy. I'll admit it. I think he's. When you're getting big too, especially when you're young, and I struggle with this. Like, if you get too much success at first or too much notoriety, your ego starts to inflate. It's the absolute worst thing you can do for yourself. And I really need a reality check in that. People like Keanu, people like just especially artists that I like too. I appreciate like Tom York, for instance. I appreciate a lot of the musicians that I admire. People who are really good at what they do, and that they focus on their own work. They don't focus on getting into everyone's faces. Like, that's what I like. Role models who are humble are my favorite. And so I strive to learn from them every single day.
Mine's a little different. Mine's actually my kids. I was a teen pregnancy, and I had 2 kids, and I went to school and streamed and did so many things. I'm just too busy, and I think I'm just unmedicated ADD, but it's fine. Yeah, you just sort of have to figure out who will give you that fire. Like, I could have been depressed. I could have been really sad. I could have given up. But there were 2 people that I was fighting for, and they reminded me that I was worth fighting for too. So if you can find someone that really makes you cry when they talk, that's a good indication that they're the person that you need to listen to.
I don't have any specific that I can think of as far as who I looked up to, but I have a tendency to look up to people who have a strong sense of hustle, because I'm like, one of the first things I remember hearing from my parents was closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm a firm believer in anybody who has the time of saying, all right, I want to do this thing. I'm going to do the thing. And then they just go and do it. Like, to me, that is something that you can always look up to, regardless of if they're good at it or not, because Michael Jordan was trash at some point. And then what happened? LeBron was trash at some point.
He had a coach through everything, a mental coach. Not a physical coach, a mental coach. So it's really a mental game.
I tried out for a pop punk band when I was 11 or 12 years old, and they said no, and I was depressed, and I gave up on music. I was like, I'm never going to do this again. And then a kid lent me this CD called The Black Album by Metallica. I heard that, and I said, this is the style of music I'm meant to play. I locked myself in my room. I'd go to school. I'd write guitar exercises at school, go home and play for 2 to 10 hours a day, and then I tried out for a high school band called Trivium. I played my 8th grade talent show. They asked me to try out for their band. I walked into the room with a bunch of high school kids. They're all laughing at me like, who's this kid? I played From the Bell Tolls perfectly, and I've been in the band ever since. So Metallica got me into this whole thing. It was thanks to metal, and I think metal and gaming are two parallels that bring a lot of people together, and I can see we're running out of time, so I want to push again. I know I said it earlier, but I'm serious. All of you, seriously, introduce each other to each other. Follow everyone on your channels. You know, you're talking about finding people to do video editing or graphics. Someone here does that amazingly, and you might have something that they need help with. Sub to each other's channel as payment.
We got time for one more question, and then we're going to go out to the lobby, and we can then meet you guys and answer any questions after that. But go ahead with your question.
Hello, my name is Chisholm. My Twitch name is Papercuts0111. I am a Kirby main, and I have beat every Jigglypuff that came my way. Just
that sounds like a challenge.
Challenge.
Are you gonna respect?
Are we talking melee or ultimate?
Melee.
Are we gonna respect the 1v1?
GG no read.
You name the price, buddy. I'm there. Trust me.
All right.
But I commend you. You play the worst character in the game, and that's how I know that you have some chutzpah, dude. You're brave. You're a brave man. But yeah, I'm down to play.
My question is, so when I stream, how do you become partnered with a charity? Because right now I'm trying to become partnered with, I'm trying to reach out to Mission 22, which is a charity that tries to bring to light veterans' mental illness. And I was just wondering, do I just go out and contact them, or do I just keep doing it?
Don't get fed. Like, they have an email on their website. Send them an email. They have a Twitter. Tweet them.
Email them. Yeah.
Every platform you can think of, be talking to them because you want to help their cause.
Yeah.
Any charitable organization will take the time to listen to somebody who wants to help them out.
This is being streamed live right now, right? Does Mission 22 have a Twitter? I'm sure they do, right?
Yes.
Can everyone in the chat right now, or go on Twitter right now and just @Mission22 and post this guy's Twitter? So get this guy going. It's that simple.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, just do a signal boost for everyone.
Today, you all have the opportunity to all help each other out. And
seriously, like this, if you guys collab together, I'm telling you, this is literally TwitchCon. The first year of TwitchCon is this room.
Matter of fact, I got something better. Where are all my artists in the room? Raise your hands.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All right.
You know who you need to talk to get emotes done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you've helped yourselves by being here. We'll be in the lobby, so will the artists.
Let's talk.
Thank you guys so much for coming out today. There's a ton more to do at Hall of Fame this year. So make sure that you're going out to these panels. Make sure you're going out, checking out everything on the back lot. We're absolutely excited to have you experiencing everything that Hall of Fame has to offer. And obviously, thank you to my guests here.
So much.
These are incredible people. Thank you to the crowd.